My question was, are we ever going to meet the parents of Flapjack or Knuckles?
That's a secret. During the feature, you will.
Okay.
That's a lot of secrets. Well, the question is, does Candy Island even exist?
Secret.
Before you even ask, Thurop, you want to say the answer to that?
I'll assume the next answer is secret. As you were talking about being creatively stifled a little bit with Camp Lanslow from time to time, and how you're probably a lot more freer to do what you want. During episodes like the Plague episode, when things get a little bit weird, and the art is like insanely gross and beautiful at the same time, is there anybody that says like no to anything with you guys?
We have our secretary guy over here. We have our network executive over here.
Yes, we get in trouble constantly. Yeah, it was a lot grosser to start with.
Like when they're going screaming in the West.
Well, originally, when they caught the plague, they would just start coughing and scratching, and they looked the same, and then they said, "Oh, you can't do that."
Because it was too boring. And then we went crazy and it was too crazy, so.
Yeah.
So we got something in between.
Thank you.
It's funny.
Well, Captain and Flapjack and Captain Knuckles, will they ever find Candy Island? Secret. If they find it, will they eat the whole entire island? It's a secret.
I would like to see that. But once you see that, it's tricky because then what are they going to go for once they eat it? So the very last episode, if we get to do a feature round, we'll get to see Flapjack and Knuckles eat homes into Candy Island and live there for the rest of their lives.
How did you come up with Star Milan?
My brother, Captain Knuckles, he came up with the name, and I was just like, oh yeah, that sounds cool. But it turns out it's an old nautical folk hero who told tall tales and stuff. So it's like Paul Bunyan of the sea. His name's Stormborn.
Okay, wait, I'm a little tired. I'm super excited. My head is like, oh my gosh, I've been watching Chowder because I used to watch it at work with little babies, and they love it. And you guys are so amazing. So thank you for coming and letting me edge. I'm just saying, I like them both. Can I just say? Yeah, see, there you go. That's great. So for Flapjack, there's a lot of really cool textures, and like the backgrounds kind of look like watercolory. Is everything on that show digital, or as far as animation goes, is some of it 2D?
Actually, a lot more is done traditional still than you would think. But we watercolor. All the backgrounds are all watercolored. Sometimes they'll take textures and that they've already painted and move them around. But the line work is all done by hand, and actually, all the animation is still done by hand. They still draw every single frame. It's not done in Flash. Cool.
Hello, my name is Melissa. I'm very glad to meet you. And thank you for making the cartoon seriously. Like, I just love it. It drives me insane. I just have a question. How did you come up with the idea of a boy living inside a whale and teeth opening like doors?
I missed the last part where everyone laughed out. What was that?
Oh, what's the idea of, how'd you come up with the idea of a kid living inside a whale and teeth opening like doors?
I used to draw a kid in a little submarine that looked like a whale just because I thought it looked neat. And as I was trying to work out the relationship with the characters and how a story would come out of it rather than just one person and different people to interact with, I just made the whale alive. Actually, originally the whale, I don't know if you guys have seen those claymation Davy and Goliath, which is old Bible stories. I thought of Bubby as like Goliath, where it was just, I don't know, Flapjack, what's a bad idea? And he could say, get out of here. And then they would go do something. So I imagined her a lot duller than she turned out. When Ryan, the lady who does his voice, auditioned, it was another one of those where we were just rolling on the floor. It was not what we expected at all, but such a strong character. It's awesome to have someone who fulfills that personality and does it in such an entertaining way.
Wow, thank you very much for that. Could you sign my book?
Yes.
Every Comic Con I have to sign it.
Hi. My first question is kind of stupid. I don't know if I should say it or not, but who's that character on the episode where they find the whale hunters when Flapjack left Knuckles, and there's this boy that looks just like Flapjack and says, I like adventure too. And he keeps him in the suitcase. Who's that?
I don't even know if he had a name. I think it was just a character that we could dispose of.
But like, she had like an episode by it.
I like adventure too!
Yeah, I just want to.
It's kind of just a Shirley Temple-y, cute version of Flapjack that you want to see.
Okay, and then my other question is that, you know, living in a whale, you never think that they're ever going to get swollen or something? Like, enter the center of Bobby? Like,
do we ever see the inside of Bubby? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, Bubby, I swear. Bubby, will you ever see the inside of Bubby, like, they actually get swallowed?
Yes. I think we showed a little bit of it in one of the shorts.
Yeah, we've been writing stories where they explore inside, but have we finished any of those?
I don't think any of them. Yeah, we're still trying to figure out what's inside her.
Yeah.
Alright, thank you.
We'll do 2 more questions.
Who plays Bubby and how old is she?
Her name is Roz Ryan, and I don't know if she wants me to say how old she is. She's a grandmother, I think, which Bubby means grandmother in Yiddish, so that's kind of cool. So to answer your question, I have no idea.
I really like the show, and I have a question. How did you come up with that really creepy West guy?
That was fun.
Ladies and gentlemen,
his voice, and Penn Ward boarded that section. So one of our storyboard artists came up with that character.
You done my T-shirt too, the West guy. Right?
He's fired.
Penn did a cartoon called Adventure Time.
I'm going to get called into someone's office after this.
Can you say adventure for us?
I just wanted to ask, why is Flapjack so cheery at the worst times?
I get it from my mother.
I've seen the Plague Island one, and they told them they couldn't live without him, but they literally meant they couldn't live without him because they needed his DNA for the plague, to get rid of the plague.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to switch out. Thank you to our Flapjack crew.